All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie is not here right now. We're at Super Bowl Radio Row with the Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell. Congratulations, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. It was a pretty surreal night last night. Getting handed the award from my first coach in this league, Bill Belichick. So
oh, wow.
Full circle. It was unbelievable.
So we met, I think, in person at the 2013 Scouting Combine.
Yep.
You came up to me, and you were a fan of the Dan Patrick Show.
Yep.
I thought you might go into media at that time. Was it ever a thought?
I was actually working. So what I was doing at the time was I was working some media, just kind of getting exposed to it a little bit. But I was also training quarterbacks. It was my first year out of playing in 2012, and I got the opportunity to work with some of the quarterbacks leading into that draft. And I just remember feeling like I was kind of conflicted. I really enjoyed the media side of things. I love talking about the game and all the intricacies of football at really the college or pro level. But I loved coaching those guys and being around the quarterback position. Inevitably, that won out.
Yeah.
I remember that very vividly. And, I was a huge fan of yours and the show and Dan and the fellas. And it's been great to see your success as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Are you surprised how quickly it all happened in coaching? Because that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now you're Coach of the Year. When you started getting into coaching, was your expectation to move this quickly?
You know what? I thought that my number one goal right off the bat was pretty simple. It was just going to be, I want to get in. I was fortunate enough to be a quarterback coach of the Cleveland Browns. I did some work kind of off the books a little bit outside of that, internships and things. But when I got that job, I just wanted to be the best possible quarterback coach that I could be. Yep. And that was pretty much, as impactful as anything, because what I found is you can help players. You can help players, whether it's quarterbacks, whether it's this person or that person. You can inevitably get to a place where you feel like you're having an impact on wins and losses and helping guys' careers. So whether it's a quarterback coach, you become a coordinator, or now as a head coach, where you impact the whole team, it's incredibly gratifying to see that you can do some things and you can help lead an organization that these guys have an impact and you have an impact on them.
It's funny, I saw Ben Johnson got the Bears job. He said quarterback play is a more important metric for wins and losses. It used to be turnover differential. Now it's quarterback play. It seems like when you're building a team from ground zero, do you focus on the quarterback first?
I think you have to try to. What I would argue is if your only way of winning is securing a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or any of those guys, Joe Burrow, if your only way of winning is doing that, it's probably going to be a hard journey because those guys are just not everywhere walking the face of the earth. But what I would say is there's a lot of quarterbacks that are on their journey that truly just need to be put in a position to maximize themselves as players. They're fit in an offense, the team you can put around those guys. And that's ultimately what I take a lot of pride in because the position is near and dear to my heart. And I just want any quarterback, whether it's a starter, whether it's a young guy you're developing, whether it's a depth guy in the room, you want all those guys to feel like it was a positive experience. And I got better by being a Minnesota Viking. And that's, my philosophy on the position. That's everybody in the room. And I think ultimately if that position does thrive, you've got a chance to win football games.
Talking to Kevin O'Connell, coach of the Vikings. On behalf of Sleep Number, we'll get to that in just a minute. How is J.J. McCarthy doing?
He's doing well.
Quarterback. Yeah. Is he in the facility all the time? Has he been there just soaking up information?
Yeah, he really, he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's gotten to a place in his rehab where it's really full-time, really attacking every aspect of now getting on the field and working through, kind of the beginning stages of his offseason, which will lead into the offseason program, into training camp. And I think that year 1 to year 2 jump is going to happen for him, despite not being able to get on the field beyond that first preseason game where he played well. He was having a great training camp. Everything he had confirmed that we thought about him before the draft had been solidified, and we know he's got a tremendous future. We really do. So I'm excited. But he did incredible value for himself this year. You don't always need the physical reps. I've heard Jaden Daniels talk about the virtual reality. I've heard some quarterbacks talk about, whether it was Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith in Kansas City. You don't always need those physical reps to have the type of leaps and bounds growth that is important for a young player. I think J.J. got that in a lot of different ways, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in 2025.
And what are some of the factors that are going to go into the Sam Darnold decision this offseason? It's a big decision everyone's talking about. I know you've commented on it this week. Talk about Sam Darnold. I was pleasantly surprised by how well he did. Been a big Sam Darnold fan.
Me too.
Kyle Shanahan said people do not understand how good this guy is. You obviously understood it. So how are you approaching this offseason with that decision?
Yeah, first and foremost, the season he had, the journey from the time we signed him till all the way through the end of the season, which didn't finish the way any of us wanted, but that does not take away from Sam Darnold and what he was able to do this year. And I'm so proud of the growth he had, the consistency throughout the whole season. You don't win 14 games in the National Football League without really good quarterback play. So as we enter this offseason, where are we again? We're in a situation where I felt like I've talked about this before previous seasons. We've had a quarterback play himself into being probably the marquee free agent at the position. We've got some tools from a standpoint of working through our negotiations and what is this picture really going to look like. I think the important thing, Andrew, is we've got to figure out what the best team in 2025 we can put together, and that's not only the quarterback position, that's our whole football team, our offense and defensive lines, different aspects of other free agents like Byron Murphy and Cam Bynum we want to bring back. So it's a big puzzle, and you work through it with grace and communication with those players so they know how much we value them, and then you just see where it takes you from there.
I mean, there's going to be a market.
There's going to be a market. I know that. I mean, what he did this year, in real NFL football, high stakes games. Like I said, it didn't end the way any of us wanted.
What about the last couple games?
It shouldn't take away from what he accomplished. But in my opinion, we've got to have ownership over what those games meant. We played ourselves into a win it all, win the division in the 1-seed game. We didn't get it done going to Detroit in game 17, week 18. But more importantly than that, you get in the dance. You get in that one single elimination tournament. You've got to find a way to play better than we did. Regardless of circumstances, the emotional letdown of the Detroit game the previous week, none of that matters. My job is to get our team ready to play and perform at a level that can win games in January. I came into this season wanting to really focus on December, playing our best football in December, and we went 5-0 in December. But clearly we've got to do more. Clearly that January discussion needs to be something that lives in our building because we've had 2 ops at it now in the tournament in 3 years and hope to have many more during my time here.
Wow, they used to only play till the end of December.
That's right.
That would have been nice. So you're here for Sleep Number. It is sleeping season for you, I imagine. Actually, I don't know. I know coaches never get to sleep. Do you get to sleep more now that the season's over?
It's just unique challenges, right? The season is what it is. Now you get to the off season, and I go dad mode, and my wife now says, hey, our 2-year-old's crying, that's on you. Or, our 5-year-old's trying to climb into our Sleep Number bed, take up some of that prime real estate. So there's different challenges this time of year, but sleep is very important. I've absolutely benefited greatly from my personal partnership with Sleep Number. The Minnesota Vikings, we've got 86% of our players sleeping in Sleep Number beds. I do as well, and I just think it's so impactful. We're in a day and age nowadays, Andrew, as you know, where sports performance and sports science plays so huge into with a product you can put on the field. Sleep is a huge part of that, so I rest easy in my Sleep Number at night knowing that 86% of my players, like I said, are sleeping in Sleep Number beds. So great to be here with them today. They mean a lot to me and our team and our league. I know that for sure.
What number you at? I'm a firm side. I'm in the 80s.
Are you? I think I'm 65. My wife's 35. So that splits enough to matter enough that we had to make sure we got the right bed for us.
Let me ask real quick about this rookie class. There are a lot of teams that might want to draft a quarterback. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of supply this season. You drafted a quarterback. Say you're a team in the top 10. What do you think of teams sometimes forcing picks that high if they're not necessarily grading that player as a top 10 pick?
Yeah, I think that's the number one issue that teams run into, trying to create just because there's a need, just because we have the pick in this location. I think you got to be real careful because those circumstances don't change the quarterback journey that player is about to go on and where he's currently at, his readiness to play, his ability to grow and develop in your system, in your organization. It's all different. It's all layered, and that's why that journey of each quarterback is so important. And I think we as teams have a responsibility in that, acknowledging your ability to really support that player, put that player in the greatest possible position to grow and have success, and then handle adversity, which is going to come. It comes for every quarterback in the NFL. So I would just highly suggest making sure that you have ultimate belief that you can help that player reach the potential you feel he has. Pull the card and draft the player.
Yep.
I don't think every year is going to be as unique. We, as an organization, we thought that 2024 draft was going to be a unique one, and it sure looks like it turned out being one.
Played out that way. You got to run real quick. Why are you picking my Eagles to win the Super Bowl?
Well, here's what I'd say. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl if they can go ahead and establish the football game the way they have currently so far in the playoffs, which is Saquon, Hurts and the fellas getting the pass game going on the heels of that running game, and then that defense kind of shutting the door. But if that thing's close games in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid on the other side, there's a reason why they are where they are. So I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a great football game. Compliments to those teams for what was a great season.
You can't wait. My blood pressure going to be through.
If
it's close, I'm just hiding my eyes. I don't want to see it. Kevin, congratulations on the award. We really pull for you here. Thanks, bud.
Thank you, brother. I always appreciate you, man.